What's cracking, everybody, and welcome to episode 241 of the Good Kraken podcast. I am one of your resident hosts tonight, Renell Pearson, alongside four lovely people here tonight that we have a very fun piece of content that we're doing for you. A very special night, starting with the inevitable one, Devin Stanford.
Cheers.
The queen of bitchin' herself, Genesee Gabrielle. The pose, the good pose.
Hi.
Our
Hi.
snack king himself, Garrick Bartholomew Eaton. Oh, he's being.
Did he freeze?
He's
Did he freeze
he's
just now?
He's getting a little bit of rubber banding. Oh no! Oh no! He did freeze
Dude,
up a
he
little
just
bit.
froze. He just.
I don't know if that's like perfect timing or the most unfortunate timing. Like,
Yeah, I think he was. He was just like. Out.
The answer is yes. There he is.
Wait.
There he is. Oh no, he's gone.
Wait. Is he? Is he? Oh.
We also have my little Thai peanut. It's Xander.
hey, what's going
Hey.
on, guys? Let's focus in on Garrick here.
You now address
We'll figure
Xander, specifically as the roasted Thai peanut now,
The roasted Thai peanut.
because he has now been roasted.
I mean, do are Thai peanuts technically roasted? I don't think they're technically roasted.
you can
can,
roast
though.
them.
Yeah.
You can have roasted
isn't that just,
just like roast them real quick and then toss them in like some like chili lime seasoning.
I was gonna say
That
what
sounds
part of it
good.
makes it Thai, right? Like, 'cause if you're just roasting.
Well, there's
peanut,
also like
it's just
you
a
could use like
roasted
kaffir lime leaf that gives it like that kind of like Thai kind of vibe.
Yeah, don't
Yeah.
argue with a Thai person. Jeez.
Use like actual like authentic like Thai chili flakes, not none of that off-brand like the whatever the McCormick's bullshit that you get at the grocery store.
I think it really adds to the impact that Garrick's face is frozen in like an almost contemplative face. He's like,
Hmm. Thai
can you
peanuts.
roast a Thai peanut?
What
Thai
just
peanuts.
happened? Where did
Are
you
they
Yeah.
go?
roasted? His
What's
computer might
happening
be out.
is Garrick is currently trying to figure something out right now, and we're just trying to kill time talking about peanuts and shit.
Esco says.
what's going on
Don't
in your
give away
life?
our secrets like that, Xander.
Esco says it's the queen, referring to Genesaw. Genesaw, we haven't seen
Of
you in a
course.
long time. Have you been?
I know. I've been good. I fucking moved again. I feel like I should be better at moving at this point because I've done it quite a few times in the last few years. I don't. I suck. I consistently suck at it, and I actually think I'm getting worse.
Worse? Oh no.
Yeah, I feel like this is worse than like every time I've moved in the last 3 years. Like why are there still boxes? We've been here for like 2 weeks. But there are still boxes. It is getting better, and now there are like random clothes on the floor. It's a disaster. There are shoes under
Maybe
the
you're just
table.
getting tired of it, you know?
I think I am.
Maybe that's what it is.
That's
We're
true.
gonna have to
yeah.
You're just like
Yeah.
you see these boxes again with the boxes. Fuck them. Just fuck. I'll
Yeah.
get it later. Like
I'm done. Yeah, every day I wake up and I look at the boxes and I tackle a few boxes and then I lay on the couch and I read my gay romance
Oh, shit.
and then I
we lost
Oh.
Garrick.
It's okay. We're good. We're good.
Stand by, those watching on YouTube and Twitch.
There you go. We'll just be way out of order for right now, but that's fine.
Okay, cool. Sick. Yeah.
See,
No,
Genesaw,
don't
you're-
mind our temporary difficulties here.
so it was you and Naomi
getting
that
you.
moved in to this new place, correct?
yes.
I see.
Yes.
I see. Your issue here is that you don't have a roommate the way that I do. You know what I mean? Because I've recently brought in a roommate to me and Marilyn's
have?
home. Yeah. He's currently running the register right now.
I hate it.
This is
Oh
ladies and
my
gentlemen, you might
God.
not know who this is. Squidward.
That is so good. That is
Did you
For
know?
so
audio
He
good.
is,
listeners out there, we do
No.
have what appears to be an authentic Krusty Krab window
It is,
featuring
yeah,
one
and-
Squidward tentacles.
Squid-
Yes.
Word.
Yeah. He's here. Was that
So
no?
I don't know if you knew this or no, but I went to school at the same university that the creator of SpongeBob did.
I thought you were about to say you went to school with Squidward.
That's Squidward's
I
dad.
did.
Squidward's dad? You knew Squidward's dad, dude? That's
daddy.
crazy.
I did not know him. He went there quite a
Dude,
few
why
years
is
before
Ebony
me.
Maw behind you?
But I
You hear that?
did.
Yeah, I know, dude.
He based Bikini Bottom off of Arcata and Humboldt State University, the city. Arcata is the city that the school is in. So I did
Oh,
go
I thought he based it off
to.
of a Bikini Bottom.
I actually went. No, and actually, it's way too cold there to wear bikinis. So I don't know what the fuck that name was about. But I have been to.
We all do, brother.
I have actually been to the restaurant that the what's the restaurant called? The burger place with the Krabby Patty.
The Krusty Krab.
The Krusty Krab.
How dare you?
Have
How dare
a
you?
functioning brain, so I didn't watch.
I literally
SpongeBob.
just said it.
You don't need it. Yeah, it's fine, Squid. It's fine.
I didn't watch SpongeBob. My parents didn't allow me to, and they did let my brother watch SpongeBob, and he's the worst. So I think that
Favoritism.
That's something. Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of
for real.
reason that parents could potentially have to not let their kids watch something like, I don't know, witchcraft, nudity, things like that. SpongeBob has it all. I don't know.
Yeah.
It does.
Yeah.
It does.
I honestly don't get it because I don't get it, but they said that SpongeBob kills brain cells, but then they let Curtis watch it. So I guess they didn't care
Maybe
about
they
his
wanted
brain.
him to be dumb.
Yeah.
Eventually. I mean, like, here's the deal, too. I mean, Esco said as soon as he said a roommate, I was cringing already. He did that to us once. I already ran through that joke before, but I had a
terrible.
I just gotta introduce
Dude, I
my
completely
roommate.
forgot about the roommate joke.
I gotta introduce my new homeboy every episode until I can get him on an episode. You know what I mean? That's the point. He's super busy, so I like run to the front of the Krusty Krab, obviously. But it
doesn't really look like it. He's just staring at you the entire time.
What's it like knowing that they're just staring at the back of your head like the whole time?
What are you talking about?
Honestly,
He's turned around right now.
Ernell's into that. I think it's a kink thing.
I can see his
this
hat.
just in from
That's
Garrett,
my
by
hat.
the
That's
way.
my Krusty Krab hat. On top of my hat.
That's the guy coming in from behind him is what that is.
Yeah.
Just the way.
We have an
that I
update from
like it.
Garrick. His PC is overheating.
Oh
No!
shit! Oh
So
shit!
I think we may have to.
Is it still hot in the UD, if you will?
I don't think
In
so.
the
I know that's
in the
not
ooh
supposed
in the
to be dirty,
Ute.
but
It's
it
still
was.
hot in the Ute. I don't like calling it that, but
What I'm
you know.
talking about.
Okay, well, if that's gonna be the case, I'm going to move us around here. So I'm gonna put this here very quickly, and then I'm gonna put. Oh, hey, Gary. There we go.
You
Great
know what
guys,
you could
great
do if you're using OBS is you could utilize studio mode
I
and
didn't
then
want
make
to.
all the changes.
I didn't want to.
And then
You know what I mean? I'd rather just do it live. Because what am I gonna go to?
Okay. Fuck it. We'll do it live.
You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Like, fuck it, man. Whatever. I will have to do studio mode to do the edit for the browser version of everything, unfortunately. But that's okay. That's okay.
You can keep it going.
You can hear what's good.
Yeah,
Clicky, and then clicky dicky, and then clicky.
Oh
flicky.
shit! Garrett just said it's
Oh.
idling at 88 degrees Celsius.
That's bonkers. That's real hot.
I'm American.
That is
Oh,
real hot.
Celsius.
No, the whole PC is that much. That's hot.
That's hot.
Perfectly fit for
Honestly,
that
you could tell
fine ass
me
man.
88 degrees Celsius is freezing, and I'd believe you. I don't.
You don't know what? 0 degrees Celsius is freezing. If that's any connotation.
Devin, can you just let her self-deprecate? You know what I'm saying? Not defecate,
Thank you,
deprecate. You know? It's just well, maybe defecate too. Let her shit on herself.
Yes.
I mean,
You know what?
she can do that as much as she
Some people
wants. I
are
don't
into
give a
that.
shit. People,
Some people are into
everybody
that.
poops.
Well, for now, it is us doing this along with you guys at home because this is the Good Kraken Podcast, your choice for all the nerdy video game and pop media news, reviews, and discussions that you want to hear. Live every Tuesday at 7 p.m. and Saturdays at 12 p.m. If you're riding this wave, you can head on over to our Discord channel where you can submit questions and topics to the show, get exclusive post-show content, and soon have early access to episodes like this one before we go live on podcasts and video services across the digital sea.
Yarg.
I did it that time.
Thank you, Genocide. You were on top of it. This, can we very briefly, I'll get into it in Captain's Orders. But if you empty your pockets for the latest and greatest in entertainment, that is totally fine. You watch us record the show live right here at twitch.tv/Good Kraken Show. If you have Amazon Prime. If you have Amazon Prime, you also have Twitch Prime. Devin, tell them.
Prime Gaming.
Thank you. And we would love for you to give that to us to help keep us pushing content out for all of you that are listening or watching at home. We need to also support us by going to our YouTube channel, clicking that beautiful bell and big red button, or by subscribing to our podcast channel by searching Good Kraken with an exclamation mark and leaving a review there. Garrick in chat
review?
here, take my Prime sub since my PC is trying to start a house fire. Garrick, you don't have to do that, man. You just got to get a new computer.
Prime Gaming.
Prime Gaming on fire.
Affirm.
Can we just talk about how much of a fucking mess this episode already is? Like we have two people fucking missing
Disaster.
that were originally planning on being here. Genocide doesn't have a mic. Devin's doing the fucking Optimus Prime voice, and Xander. Well, you know.
I mean, I'm not anymore.
Xander's doing
I just
great.
did it for a second. You know,
This episode's a goddamn
it was only
mess.
to
Xander-
emphasize key words in our intro.
I mean, see, that's
Xander
also
is the
why.
saving grace.
That's also why I decided to just move the fucking camera things live, because I'm like, you know what? It's already a fucking disaster. Why not? You know, why not?
Okay.
Hey guys, it is Ahsoka Day though.
I haven't even watched the first two episodes yet.
Oh, Ahsoka.
What
show.
the fuck is wrong with you?
Xander,
haven't
that's a
watched
great
any of
question.
these.
We have some captain's orders, my friend. That's my answer for you, okay? Guys, please go check out our newest episode of the Good Kraken podcast. Me and DJ got a chance to get into it about Gran Turismo. And boy, you guys are missing out on a good review. This one's good. This one's a fucking tasty one, baby. You know what I'm saying? So please go check that out.
Tasty.
It's
Does
on
it have
YouTube.
that umami?
You could say that. You could say that.
You know, I feel like we should just
Where can I find this episode?
On youtube.com/Good Kraken Show and your podcast service of choice. Thank you, Xander. What's that, Evan?
I was gonna say we should just like get Wheat Bread to like do our main reviews of our podcast reviews. You know, he can review our episodes for us. Since he listens to us all the time, I feel like he'd be the best to do it.
We should have them exclusively review our review episodes.
Exactly.
Yeah. Just double review. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then
Double down on the review.
And then Xander
I hope
can...
he sees these movies too, because actually this would be great content.
Jesus Christ. Guys, please make sure that if you're trying to stay in the loop on everything, if you will, follow Good Kraken on all your social media channels. We have we're starting to post more frequently again. We're kind of rolling out content, you know, on the platforms and such going forward. So please check us out on there. You guys can chit chat with us and hang out and have a good time, just like Garrick is. Yeah, sorry, Garrick. I love you, dog.
The roast is over.
Anyways, Devin,
Apparently not for his apparently not for his PC, you know. It's roasting
we
right now.
are going straight into our headlining segment. Devin, tell the people at home what we're doing next.
Greg Miller, you better protect your neck.
Jesus Christ.
We're going into the gallows, motherfucker.
Ladies, gentlemen, ladies, and thents, today for the gallows, we have returned. Okay, back in April, we did a little thing where we ranked phase 1 of the MCU movies. Okay, that was me. That was kind of Devin. That was DJ. That was Garrick. And that was Genesaw, of course.
My computer shit out that time.
No, because yes, at first you disappeared because your dog choked on something or something, and then you came back, and then your computer fucked up.
That's right.
Yeah,
that's right.
and then we were like, all right, well, I guess I guess that ain't happening the way that we were wanting it to. So, with that said, we have returned to add on Phase 2 to our official MCU rankings. So, first and foremost, before we go diving in, crazy conversations and whatnot, let's talk our rankings so far, okay? Good Kraken has our rankings right here. GK's official MCU rankings thus far. Number 6, we have The Incredible Hulk. Number 5 is Thor. Number 4 is Iron Man 2. Number 3 is Iron Man. Number 2 is Captain America, the First Avenger. And number 1 is The Avengers. With that said,
Before we get into this, Garrick in chat, if you could please contribute, even though through text.
you want him to contribute as well?
I feel like his opinions on these rankings are important.
They are very vital.
It is.
Look what he just said.
You should have put that in staff chat. Jesus Christ, man. Anyways, so our format, how we're going to be doing this. I'm going to be giving you guys some information about each movie individually in chronological release order of Phase 2 as that happened. And each of us, for each movie, will give our, quick top-level thoughts on the movie, and then we will place it within our ranking list, and then move on to the next movie until we are finished with all 6 films. Guys, are we ready?
Yes.
Yep.
And that has been the Good Kraken.
Just know that Winter Soldier's the best. Iron Man 3 is the worst.
What was that?
He's talking to Squidward.
Yeah, that checks out.
He's just saying foolish shit back there. He said Ant-Man's number 1, but I was
What the fuck?
insane. Jesus Christ, man.
That is full of shit.
Well, at first he said Batman Begins, and I was like, that's not even. Anyways,
You watch too much SpongeBob is what happened.
Jesus, man. Iron Man 3 released May 3rd, 2013, directed by Shane Black, with a budget of $200 million and a box office of $1.215 billion and a run time of 2 hours and 10 minutes. Devin, let's start with you, my man. What were your top level thoughts of Iron Man 3?
I do like how they incorporated like the different suits that they built throughout, Iron Man 1 and 2, and with the new additions, because got to put a suit and armor around the world,
Sure.
I liked Robert Downey Jr.'s performance in this one. However, there's something that happens in this movie near the end that has nothing to do with the rest of the continuity in the MCU.
So hold on, real quick. So I also forgot to establish these rules. Hold on, I gotta pause this fucking trailer. Okay, so side rules here. Okay, 1, full spoilers. If you guys haven't seen these fucking movies after a decade, I'm fucking sorry. You need to figure it out. We let you guys know like a month ahead that we were doing this. Okay, so fucking watch the movies. Full spoilers, but we are not doing future spoilers. So if anybody has been following us and have been exclusively watching Phase 1 and now Phase 2, but have not seen the rest of the movies, let's stray away from that.
Yeah.
And then thirdly, well, I mean, have fun, have a good time. Anyways, Devin, continue.
Nice
my friend.
Nice save there. This movie's very forgettable, honestly. Outside of Robert Downey Jr. just being Tony Stark, I actually forget the sequences that happen in this movie, even though I've seen it like 6 times at least. You know what I mean? It's just kind of like, oh no, you lost your house. Oh no, you need to fix your suit. Oh no, girl's in danger. Oh no, she gets superpowers that don't matter.
Jesus Christ.
I don't know. It's boring. I don't really have a whole lot of thoughts on this one.
Xander,
Yes.
go on, my king.
Okay, so I do have some conflicting thoughts about this. I think this is a great Shane Black film. I think it is like if this was like a standalone Iron Man inspired Shane Black film, I'd accept it. I do like the fact that they kind of touch on Tony Stark's alcoholism from in the comics. They pay homage to a lot of like little details there. But the biggest thing, and this is coming from someone who is a huge fan of the Extremis line of the comic books, is that they botched the whole thing. Aldrich Killian was a scientist that killed himself in the first few pages of this comic arc. Like, and now he's the main bad? What?
Want to be looking Brad Pitt?
Like, I will say, though, one of the best Marvel Studios logo openers, in my opinion. Opening up with I'm Blue.
Sure. Yeah.
Like hearing that in the theater, like just on those speakers, I was like, oh,
it was pretty cool.
shit.
It was pretty dope.
Yeah, it was pretty lit.
You're not wrong, dude.
But ultimately, as a film amongst the rest in this phase, I would rank it the worst because ultimately it did a lot of negative for a character that I think they're trying to do positive, because the whole idea was he was dealing with a lot of the kind of post-traumatic stress from the events of the Avengers.
Yes.
And they touched on that a little bit, but they didn't really, like, I feel like if they dove deeper into that aspect of it all, it could have been a much better film. And they kind of just like, that was also right around the time that Marvel had this weird thing about their comedy that it just felt forced, and I wasn't here for it.
Fair enough. Genesaw.
I feel like Iron Man 3 doesn't have any redeeming qualities. It's like Pepper Potts sucks. I find her incredibly annoying. And that's not like her fault as a character. She was written really badly. Her entire character is written around a man that also sucks. So, she was set up for failure. But yeah, she sucks. And she's like more of a thing in this movie, which makes it like even more like, oh, Tony Stark, I am with Xander. I feel like if they had actually committed to making it about unpacking his PTSD and like making that an actual thing, I felt like Tony Stark from the very beginning was a whiny baby. He was a rich, spoiled, whiny baby. And then they started putting him through shit, but he just kept being a whiny baby. And I'm like, you're a grown man who's rich as fuck. And like I just don't, I can't sympathize with him. I can't. And then he like goes and throws a fit. He just throws a giant fit with all of these people at his house, and I'm like, I can't. Why? I can't. I just feel like he's constantly throwing temper tantrums with fire, with like actual weapons, like military grade weapons that this man is allowed to have. And it makes me, nothing else in the movie matters because we're supposed to believe that the guy who's gonna save the day is this giant child with access to I mean, even worse than what the United States military has access to. It's insane. And that's all I have to say about Iron Man 3.
Oh no.
Genesaw obviously
military grade weaponry.
Not like Iron Man, even though he built the suit in a cave.
With a box of scraps.
Yeah, he did do that, yeah.
I like Iron Man 1 and 2. Just saying.
So my dealio is, first and foremost, I have to say, like, upon this rewatch, I do like this movie a little bit more than I did before. I do feel like in retrospect, Marvel has Marvel has a formula, and this movie doesn't really follow a lot of it. Like, it does follow some of it. It is a little bit niche in how the Marvel, like, you know, steps go as far as a Marvel movie is concerned. But as far as like other Marvel movies are concerned as a whole, this one is pretty original in like what they do and like how the story unfolds and like where this character is going with things. A lot of the problems that I really had with this movie is just kind of piss poor writing, just generally speaking. I mean, like it's like they did a really good job of like storyboarding everything, but when it came to bridging all these like main important steps, they just had no fucking clue how to connect those things. And I think that definitely bit this movie in the ass a little bit more than I was hoping for. I don't necessarily think it's the worst Marvel movie, but you know, we are where we are. Xander, what's up?
I will say to the, I guess the writing that you say, I did some research on Shane Black prior to. I watched Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, and it actually operates very similarly. Like it's kind of jumpy in a sense.
Yeah.
Where things feel it feels like there could have been more explanation somewhere, but there wasn't. It's just kind of like more fast paced that way. And I think that's just kind of like a thing that Shane Black does.
Sure. Fair enough. Fair enough.
Also, that's a critique I had of this whole phase. I feel like there was, especially like coming off of phase 1 and coming off of us being like in the trenches of phase 5, like I just feel like the writing overall in phase 2 was lackluster.
Well, yeah, for most of these movies, for sure. I can see that. Well, guys, let's go ahead and get into ranking our first phase 2 MCU movie. So right now, again, reminder, we have Incredible Hulk, Thor, Iron Man 2, Iron Man, Captain America, the First Avenger, and The Avengers at number 1. So the real question here is, and I'm sure that we're all in like sort of agreed, you know, consensus here that Iron Man 3 is not that great. The question that we have to start with then is it better or worse than The Incredible Hulk?
It's better.
Yeah.
Better.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
Xander,
better.
what do you think?
I don't know, because like I recently rewatched The Incredible Hulk with Edward Norton with my daughter actually.
I'm sorry.
And there are some and maybe it's just because of what's to come. Just knowing like some of the information from that was the redeeming quality for me, but
Yeah, I mean, like it.
I don't know.
Our biggest problems that we had with The Incredible Hulk was pretty cut down to how the movie just is so bad on multiple different things. Like the CG was bad, the story was bad, the character writing was bad, the way that they connected.
See,
and, like,
for me, where I'm conflicted is that what's worse, the fact that the Hulk couldn't have sex because his heart rate would get too high, or the villain issue with the Mandarin and Aldrich Killian.
Sure.
That's where I'm at. You know what? I think
That's our scale.
Iron Man 3 is better than
was worse.
The Incredible Hulk.
Okay, so then is Iron Man 3 better or worse than Thor?
Worse.
Worse. Yeah.
Yeah?
Well, you know, actually,
I mean, we had some problems with Thor, guys. Like, we had some
you know
problems.
You know what? I'm gonna say it's better than Thor because that when I rewatched that, I remember not liking it at all.
You know what Thor had that Iron Man didn't?
What? This is your chance to sell me.
Hiddleston. Literally, you
Hiddleston,
can put
yeah,
that man
Loki,
in Tom
yeah.
Hiddleston. Put that man in anything, especially as Loki. We know I'm not a fan
Loki
of
was
the
annoying
character,
in that movie, though.
but
Not terribly.
no.
I mean, he was supposed to be annoying, right?
Yeah.
But he's
But Thor
I
was
feel
so
like the charm of
boring.
Hiddleston wasn't there yet. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like he didn't
like,
find a place in that role.
Yeah, I don't know. Like Thor was just so boring to me. It's like after the initial like 30 minutes, I was like, all right, like y'all are literally doing nothing.
Also, his fucking fit he throws in the beginning of that movie too.
That part was tight.
yeah.
That was a good part. You know what I'm saying?
It just made no sense though.
Yeah, I mean, like I could go either way. It sounds though like between Garrick and Genesaw and Xander that me and Devin will have to concede here. So it sounds like we're gonna put Iron Man 3 at the number 6 spot. There we go.
Doyle rules.
Making Incredible Hulk number 7. I think that's okay. I can take Thor being barely better just because it does have some like cooler moments when they do happen. So I guess that kind of makes up for it because the Iron Man 3 is lacking a lot of Iron Man
Kat
action.
Dennings, okay.
Got mommy milkers, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
that's a
it
fair
has
argument.
Idris Elba. Like, are you a cast alone? It's better.
Yeah, that's fair.
Jeremy Renner. What's the guy that plays Agent Coulson?
Oh, Will
They
Smith.
weren't in Thor. Were they?
Yeah. Yeah. They were guarding the hammer. Shield was at the hammer.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, shit, he was.
Yeah, he's
That's
not like
right.
in it,
That's
but he's in
totally
it.
right. Yeah, but they're
he's like in it a little bit.
No, he's in it.
Hey, guys,
no,
Esco
he's like
says
in it,
once
he's
they
not like
in it.
Esco said once they stopped trying to match his eyebrows to his hair, Thor got better.
You know, that is
that's fair.
pretty
That's fair.
accurate.
Yeah, that is fair. So let's move on to our next movie here. Thor: Dark World,
Speaking of,
released November 8th, 2013, directed by Alan Taylor, with a budget of $170 million and a box office of $644.8 million, and
there's
a
a reason
runtime
for that.
of 1 hour and 52 minutes. Oh boy. Okay, so Devin, let's start with you again, my friend. What were your top level thoughts on Thor: Dark World?
Okay.
Okay.
First of all,
Okay.
here. Putting the Infinity Stone inside of Jane Foster. I hated that. I actually hated that whole concept.
Okay.
Yeah. Second of all, it's just not that good. It's not. But I do think it's better than the first Thor movie now.
Oh, see that? Okay, that's a change. That's a change. All right. Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
It felt like they were just starting to find out who, like Chris Hemsworth was finally figuring out how to be Thor, right? Because there's a drastic difference in the way that he approaches the character between the first movie and the second movie. The first movie, I decided I like that one less now, is because he's a whiny bitch in that movie.
Fair. Okay. All right.
And in this one, he's not. You know, he has a little bit more of a sense to him. And same with touching on Hiddleston earlier. Hiddleston finally starts to have that charm behind his character, you know, that I thought he was missing a lot from the first one.
Fair enough. Okay. Good old It's Xander.
Yes, so upon recent rewatching of this, I have learned to really appreciate what they were trying to do with this. I think it may have came too soon, considering how we are getting to a darker, more grittier side of Marvel now. I think that maybe if they had shelved that idea, or at least with like the Dark Elves and stuff like that for now, and then maybe go through a number of rewrites, because let's be honest, the writing was abysmal. I think it would have done a lot better. But I still appreciate it for what it was. I do enjoy it more than the first Thor. I actually probably enjoy it more than some of these other films on this list, actually. Just because it feeds some sort of void that I was missing from the Thor films within the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I wanted something that felt kind of like Skyrim, and this felt kind of like that. And I really enjoyed that kind of take on it. But all in all, like in terms of continuing on the overall story arc of the Infinity Saga. It just didn't really stick for me.
Fair enough. Genesaw.
I think something that I struggled more this phase with than I have other phases is the transition between Earth and like space, especially in terms of like the believability of their powers and like kind of the stakes, right? And I think something that really made sense in Thor: The Dark World was the stakes. Um, Now that in terms of like the greater phase was hard for me because like you had the stakes so high in Thor: Dark World, and they have to be high because you're dealing with multiple gods. I love that it was darker. I love that it's a grittier film. I also really appreciate that they show this difficulty of him being in love with a human. I think that that's like we have like interspecies like love interest all the fucking time. I read fantasy romance. Like
Oh
I
boy.
can't tell you.
Ice
I
Planet
can't tell
Barbarians.
you. What? No, fucking elves and dragons and shit. And nobody like they're just like, oh, it's fine. I'm gonna be in love with this human. It's like, bitch, you've been alive for 500 years. They don't understand you. Like they don't understand your problems. They don't understand your world. Like he's literally from a different planet. And I appreciated that they tried to show that magnitude. Thor, being a dumb jock, ignored it. But I'm so over their romance. I'm so over it. But like I love that like everyone around him was like, get this puny ant off of our planet. He has Sif is right there. Anyway, I'm fine. I'm gonna be mad about that for the rest
Dude.
of time.
Sif is built different, dude.
If okay, like that's all I'm
Twist me into a
saying.
goddamn pretzel. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, that's the energy, and Thor is
You know that
missing
thigh
it.
crusher scene in The Boys?
I mean, Frio's the real snack in this movie. Let's be real, but like that's.
Dude, literally, Kat Dennings is right there. Like, if you're gonna fall in love with a human, fall
Oh
in
my
love with
God.
Yeah.
You know
No,
what I'm
that's fair.
saying?
Yeah. Nah.
Like,
Ever
no
since
tea, no
Nick and Nora's
shade.
Infinite Playlist, man, I was sold.
Dude, I can't. She's amazing. But yeah. So I did appreciate I appreciated that they
Cool
had that
movie.
contrast. But when
It's
they
good.
come to Earth in this movie, they fuck shit up. Now I feel like that consistency is overall lacking across the phase because then you jump to, and we'll get there, but like you jump to the Avengers movie and the tone isn't the same. The stakes aren't the same. Like we went from Thor: Dark World to totally different stakes, and that my brain has trouble matching up with. Of like, okay, so you're telling me that in Thor: Dark World we're dealing with an Infinity Stone, and like shit's getting messed up so hard. Like her body is like possessed. There are rifts in time and space. People are going missing. This makes sense, and then like the stakes are lower in the future. And it's like, no, there are more stones in play now. The stakes should be higher. And so I thought, and I feel like it's because they went from that really dark, gritty direction to something that's more of a classic Avengers. So yeah, I liked it a lot. I feel like I liked it more this time than I have in the past. But I also don't know that I've watched it for a really long time. And I feel like having watched the Thors that we have now, I still really like this one. I like that dark essence to it. I don't know. There's something about it, especially after Love and Thunder. It was cool to go back to.
Sure. Xander, you had a quick thought you were wanting to chime in with? I saw you raise your hand for a second.
Oh no, I was just kind of like
Oh,
an
gesture.
agreement.
Okay, yeah, for sure. The my problem with this fucking movie is that this villain is such bullshit. He's just bullshit for the entire fucking movie, and just like, and he's supposed to be our first like real threat since Avengers. You know what I mean? Like a first real threat, like intergalactic threat since Avengers. And Thor's like, I'm the only one that can fucking take this problem on because I'm the only one that can fucking handle this. And he's not, first off. He's just not. For a villain that just seemingly is just shitting on everything for the sake of shitting on everything. Like he's just bad because he's bad. And I
He's bad to
fucking
the bone.
hate villains that are just bad to be bad. Like, yeah, he doesn't really have much motivation for being the dick that he's being, outside of just like, oh, my people are gonna die, and that's it. And like we saw that in Avatar. You know what I mean? Like, like come on,
We saw
man.
that
Like,
with Susan Sarandon in The Beetle.
I got
Blue
fucking. I'm sure that's what Aliens 2 was about. You know what I mean? That's what they were thinking. Like he's just like.
I think his character would have been a lot more believable if they went the route where he like. So the whole thing was like about saving the dark elves and whatnot, but he just gets just absolutely deranged and mad because it's been eons trying to do this shit. And then but they toned him down so much. Like if you like look up his character in the comic books,
Right.
dude looks fucking mad as hell. Like play
He-
that up. It just felt mundane.
Well, and that's the problem. I mean, like I try not to dump a whole bunch of like preconcerned comic stuff into when I perceive these movies as they are. It's just like bare bones. This villain does pretty much fucking nothing the entire movie, and like only for Thor to also pretty much do nothing this entire movie. Loki does more than Thor and this villain together in this movie. They might as well just called.
This is when you get the Loki charm.
They might
That's
have well
this movie.
just called this movie Thor Loki.
The Adventures of Thor and Loki.
This is like there's so many other ways it could have gone about this story that would have been so fucking dope. Instead, it just felt like another Marvel movie. And I was like, sure. You know what I mean? Like the only credit that I could really give it is that that this is one of the first Marvel movies they gave us where they weren't just like fighting the same fucking person as themselves. So I was like, all right, cool. That's a little bit refreshing. You know, sure, I'll take it. But yeah, with that said, not crazy impressed with this one. I did like it more this time around, though. I will say that. I did like the pacing of everything a little bit more. The way that the story was written a little bit more. It's just, my saying in the last movie, their storyboarding was good, but the writing in between was dog shit. This was like flipped for me, where it just felt like the writing, like in between moments, were like, okay, I can kind of see what you're going for here. But their storyboarding, the main moments that they went for, just felt like Batman versus Superman, and I was just like, this could have been so much more. It could have been so much more. So.
And at least Batman v Superman had Henry Cavill with the shirt off. You know
Same. Shotgun arms. You know what I mean? Shotgun arms.
Mm-hmm.
Guys, let's go back
motherfucker.
to our rankings here. So, again, first question here. Is Thor Dark World better or worse than The Incredible Hulk?
Better.
Better.
Okay. I'm glad we're in agreement. Better or worse than Iron Man 3?
Better.
I'll take it. Better or worse than Thor?
Better.
Oh. Wow. Oh, shit. Wow.
I already said I liked it more than Thor. I already said that.
Oh, wow. I didn't think that all of us are going to be in agreement there. Okay. Better or worse than Iron Man 2?
Worse.
Better.
I want my bird.
I love you, Sandy.
Dude, fuck Iron Man 2.
That's the one thing
Fuck
that
Iron
Thor
Man
Dark
2.
World doesn't have is my bird. My
bird.
bird.
Fuck your
Stop
bird.
it. Stop it.
You're not fucking Whiplash. Not my
My
Whiplash.
bird.
I want my bird. I mean, Devin says worse. I'm almost inclined to agree.
I don't know.
I had more fun.
Is Garrick
with Iron
still
Man
listening
2.
in?
I
Can Garrick be our tiebreaker?
mean, Garrick can
He
be our
said it's
tiebreaker.
worse.
If he is here.
Garrick's in chat. He's in chat.
He is not in chat. He is no longer here.
Oh, okay. He gave up.
no.
He gave up.
Coin flip? Do we coin flip? This is a
We're
rough
not
one.
having
Or do we
council vote.
sales pitch it? Do we sales
No,
pitch it?
yeah, I think we need a sales pitch this. We can't just let fate decide how we're gonna rank things. So
That's like my fate.
Xander, pitch me and Devin one reason why Thor Dark World is better than Iron Man 2.
overall story wise, if you were to look at these films as just individual films, Thor: The Dark World is arguably a better film through and through. Simple as that.
Then Iron Man 2, huh? Devin, go give them your pitch, my good sir.
Scarlett Johansson.
No.
That's pretty
Stop
weak
it.
argument, if you ask me. That's
Yeah,
pretty
That is
weak.
the
At-
weakest
At
argument.
this point in Marvel,
Yeah,
At
okay,
that
okay,
point,
okay.
you know, at that point, I
And-
think you left the lights on your Hummer on. You fucking Chad.
And the way that they introduced Scarlett Johansson as the Black Widow was insulting to all of womankind. Don't even get me
That's fair.
started. We haven't even gotten to Captain America yet.
It was
I'm
extremely
pissed.
over sexualized.
so pissed.
okay, but Sam Rockwell though, as Justin Hammer, he fucking killed that role. He fucking
Yeah,
killed
and
that
we
role.
still have yet to see anything from AIM.
You know what I think bugs me about when people are just talk about Iron Man movies and they're like, "Oh, that man killed that role." They killed a role as like a douchebag. Like I don't know what you want from
Yeah,
me.
sometimes
Like,
that's hard. You know what I mean? I mean, like,
Actually, I've heard Sam Rockwell is actually a really nice guy.
I mean, like it's a hard thing to do. Play a good douchey like villain. Yeah, man,
Yeah,
that's totally
like
hard.
to really sell it and to make people hate you. Like
yeah,
I
it's
give
so
props
hard
to
be an
those actors.
asshole. I can't.
You
Right.
you really think like Littlefinger just walked onto Game of Thrones and just like, just no, he fucking worked for that. You know what I mean? Like, we worked for that.
True. Or the
I don't know, man.
Lannisters.
I don't know, man. I've yet to hear the perfect argument yet. I've yet to hear the
Yeah.
perfect argument here to quite sell me on this. Jenna, what do you
I
think?
think-
What do you think is the big selling point for Thor: Dark World?
I think that Thor: Dark World has something that Iron Man 2 didn't, and that's called the plot. I think that
It hardly has that though. You know what I mean? Like,
I mean more than Iron Man, but I'm gonna walk away from that argument because I understand that that's not my audience. I think that something that Thor: Dark World has is I don't know. I think that grit to it really is something. I feel like it where it struggles is that it pulls you away from the rest of what's happening in the MCU at the time. But it really does go places that literally and figuratively, goes places that other movies at that point in the MCU weren't going. And while the villain is not very well, their mission and purpose isn't super well thought out. I think that the heroes and whatnot, and like how they played Loki as being such a trickster character, I think there was so much growth in Loki, and he can be really tricky because his whole character plot. I mean, we know I'm not the hugest fan of Loki because his whole character is just being like, "Oh, just kidding." He's like a fucking leprechaun, and it's like, calm down. But
it's
I
called
do
Loki, a
think that
leprechaun.
That's me to a T. That's why I love him. Oh man.
I think
It's-
I just. Oh, so go ahead.
Oh yeah, no, but I mean that is the reason to like Loki. Like that is, and I do think that they played him really well that way. And it actually in this movie, it hadn't been overplayed yet, and so watching it again, I was like, okay, no, this actually makes sense. Like I feel like the things that they did in this movie made sense. And the heroes really worked for it. They really worked to like actually be heroes this time.
Devin, you're gonna say something?
I think I just ultimately had more fun with Iron Man 2 in the scene to scene throughout the movie.
Right.
This is also when we
Right.
got Don Cheadle to be Rhodey. And the introduction of War Machine, which was great. That was like definitely a nice little fan favorite part. But throughout this movie I just had more fun, and I feel like this is where like some Marvel comedy actually like shine a little bit too. So
I I'm okay with conceding with Thor Dark World better than Iron Man 2 for now. Because Devin, hear me out here, right? There's some bigger battles we're going to fight later. You know what I mean?
yeah, there is.
You know what I mean? I'm okay with them
Mhm.
taking this one, but there's some other shit
Because
you and I are going to be
there's
swinging for
going to be
later.
others that can potentially squeeze in.
You're right. Like,
Better.
on a
That's
bigger
true.
picture, I feel like I'm okay with you
On a lot
guys.
of movies.
Yeah, with you guys putting this in here. So, Devin, what do you say?
Fine.
Fine. Yeah, I know.
There's
I know.
better movies. There are better movies.
There are, yes, there are some other ones that we will be looking at. So, all right.
I just
Thor-
can't believe Thor Dark World is in the middle of this.
I fucking can't believe this shit. But fucking fine, I guess. Like, oh, okay.
You know, I
Let's
did.
look at
I
numbers
was
here.
curious, so I looked up the Rotten Tomatoes of Iron Man 2 and Thor Dark World.
We should
And
stop
Iron Man
fucking
2
looking at that.
is
Dude, Rotten Tomatoes is a bunch of bullshit.
Love you
I
guys.
mean,
Are they
Check
listening?
Metacritic.
Can we make sure that
Check
they're listening?
Metacritic.
Hey, anyone in chat, can you clip
Okay.
this? Hey, Rotten Tomatoes, you're full of shit, dude.
check Metacritic and check
I got this.
the viewer ratings. Let's do that.
Or we could go to the next movie because
I'm going to do that as he does that. See, multitasking.
Yeah.
Okay.
Multitasking.
Yeah,
Guys,
we got this. We got this.
next up we have Captain America, the Winter Soldier, released April 4th, 2014, directed by Joe Russo, one of the Russo brothers, if you will. Budget $170 million and a box office of $714.4 million and a runtime of 2 hours and 16 minutes. Devin, your top level thoughts on Captain America, the Winter Soldier.
This is like, if you were to take Marvel out of the equation here, this is just a great action movie, like through and through. It really is. It moves set piece to set piece very well. It's very cohesive. It explains a lot. It goes in depth on, you know, Shield, which is the spy organization that the Avengers essentially worked for, and the corruption that's within that. Steve Rogers' interactions with all the characters in this movie are like very good, and I do like the twists and turns and the reveal of who is Hydra and who is not. This was Samuel L. Jackson's like kind of a bigger role for this movie, if you know, because I mean, if you don't count Avengers, every other movie he just has very small cameo scenes, and they're usually post-credit scenes, right? You know, but the motivation is good there. The Sebastian Stan's portrayal of the Winter Soldier is a home run fucking hit in this movie. It is he did such a good job, even though he was like voiceless. The costume design for him too was perfect. Probably one of the best comic book adaptions that we've seen throughout the whole MCU right off the bat, in my opinion. But yeah, I love this movie. It does great work. It's great choreography on the fighting as well. But yeah.
Xander.
The only problem I have with this film is the fact that they closed off a road in DC where I was living in the DC area at the time, and they had to reroute traffic around that shit. Other than that, this film is immaculate. Like seriously, like top to bottom, like I even to this day I will still say that this is probably by far my favorite MCU film. Because like what I said with Thor: The Dark World, where they were trying to have a different take on a Marvel film, and this was also right around the time I remember hearing they were trying to like specifically do different genres with each. Like remember, I think you guys might have remembered Doctor Strange was originally rumored to be a horror film.
Yes.
Stuff like that. So I liked what they did with this, and they did what Thor: The Dark World was trying to do, but they executed it perfectly. They turned Marvel into a spy espionage film. I felt like I was watching another like Tom Clancy thing, but better. Sorry, without remorse.
Fair. Yeah, it's rough. It's rough out here.
Yeah, but no, yeah, it was just wonderfully done. And when I heard the following news after that, the same directors of The Winter Soldier would be doing Infinity War, and they'd be having their hands in Marvel films so much more, I got ecstatic about that. So yeah.
Genesaw.
Okay. The chokehold that this movie had on me in 2014 is upsetting. I was really worried going to watch this again because I watched that movie in theater like 7 times, like an unholy amount of times. Loved this movie. There wasn't even any nudity. Like what? I don't know why I was so like I had to see it 7 times. But I had to, and I was not disappointed watching. If anything, it's like more relevant. I was watching it. I was like, dude, is this the Marvel movie that's always gonna age well? There was one thing that I didn't like that didn't stand out to me before, and that was the writing for Black Widow. There were several times in this movie where she would talk, and I was like, why did they have her say that? I would be really interested if you isolated all of her lines, because I don't think she said anything of substance in this movie. All of her lines were just like supporting, like, oh, but what if we do this? Or oh, what happens if you do that, Steve? I don't know. She felt like a wacky sidekick character, and I'm like, she's a full blown assassin who could kill him. And I don't know, she felt like a really sporting role. But I love Falcon. I love him so much. I've loved him since he came onto the scene on your left. I think he's wonderful. The line where he says, I go where he goes, just slower. Oh man, that hits just as hard as the first time I saw it in theaters. I was sitting there on my couch like, yes. I don't know why it's so I find it so funny, all of their interactions, and they're not ha funny, but they just elicit something in me. I don't know. I love it so much. I think it's wonderful. The scene where Bucky as the Winter Soldier is in the chair, I don't think that affected me so hard, and his acting, it really can't be said enough how phenomenally he acted in this movie, because it's he hardly says anything, and when he does, it's yes, you're sobbing on your couch. He's like, oh my god, it's so good. It was so good. Yeah, I love it. Amazing movie.
Beautiful. Yeah, I mean, this movie has one of the greatest scenes in Marvel history, Marvel Cinematic Universe history, in the elevator when Steve Rogers turns and looks at Homeboy and says, you don't need to do that.
Crossbones.
Chocolate pudding. And then he's like, oh, and they freak out and have a huge fight in the elevator, right? It's crazy. Yeah. This movie to this date is one of my fucking favorite Marvel movies, period. This movie's unfucking real how good this movie is. Between everything from the espionage to the action, the choreography, the storytelling, the way everything unfolds, the way that this ties up, it ties up everything that happened in Captain America. Everything about this movie was perfection. To give a little bit of pushback with Genesaw, I'd maybe argue that Black Widow never had anything meaningful to say outside of this movie. Until Black Widow, the movie, she never really had anything meaningful to say.
But that is because writers decided not to give
trust me, I know. Trust me. Yeah, I wish it wasn't so. If they would have given her a little bit more depth, maybe I would have liked Black Widow more. But unfortunately, Florence Pugh is perfect in and out of movies. But this movie is a fucking goddamn gift from the Lords.
Can Can we all just skip to where we all know this is going in the ranking?
I think we absolutely
Absolutely.
can, my friend.
Yeah,
Ladies and
absolutely.
gentlemen, the big question here that we need to know is why is Captain America: The Winter Soldier the worst movie on this list? Yeah.
Shut the fuck up. So it's number one, right?
Right?
It's
Any
number one.
objections? Any
Right,
objections?
right. Okay, all right.
It's
No
number
one's
one.
surprised. It's number one. It's just is.
And it's gonna be there for a while. You know what I'm saying? Ooh wee!
22.
Fuck.
Whoa.
Oh, God.
222.
222. Oh god, there's so many movies. Yes. So that puts us in a very fun predicament. We are now halfway through, just over halfway through, phase 2, and we now can 96.
96.
Not nice.
No,
We
These are
can
fighting.
move into our next movie here. Guardians of the Galaxy, released
I'm getting called out.
August 1st, 2014. Yeah, I know why aren't I using this format? You know, because I actually like just added the numbers before we jumped on because I was like, I might need the numbers. But when I moved it to list formatting, it like indented everything, and I was like, oh, God, stop that. I didn't have time to like fix it. Guardians of the Galaxy, released August 1st, 2014, directed by James Gunn, a budget of $250 million, a box office of $845.5 million, and a run time of 2 hours and 2 minutes. Devin, do it, my boy. What are your top level thoughts on Guardians of the Galaxy?
This is probably one of the most fun MCU movies that's come out. Like, straight up.
Okay.
I thought the introduction of each member of the Guardians of the Galaxy was good. It is a little fast paced in the introductions, but I do like it still. The only thing I wish is if we got more flashbacks for Drax, for his character introduction. You know, some quick montage thing, like when he was telling his story. Just because Drax is actually a really important character. Sorry, Dave Bautista. But the writing in this is good. The motivation is there. The special effects, the CGI, definitely ramped up for this because this movie is in space, right? This is when we see a lot. This is the first time we're really seeing the cosmic side of the MCU as well. And it's really cool that they took a B-rate team of heroes and put them up in the limelight, center stage, and made them important, and also have an importance within the overarching MCU as well.
Xander.
So a lot of my talking points would probably echo that of Devin's, simply because it is a very fun film. I thoroughly enjoy watching this film over and over again. However, in regards to overall Marvel Cinematic Universe, in regards to Marvel characters that I know and love, there is a lot that changes with these characters that I didn't like to see in this film, and it started my worry with Marvel films, because knowing how a lot of these companies operate, they tend to capitalize on what they think does best when that's not. That's why we get Love and Thunder, but we'll get there when we get there. And the fact that like Drax is such a heart-wrenching character in the comic books. He has such a devastating backstory that I wish Dave Bautista could have brought that character to life, because I know that's something that he wanted to do as well. And a lot of my other grievances with Guardians of the Galaxy comes in later films, but ultimately, overall, fun film. As a Marvel fan, kind of missed the mark for me, but not bad.
Genesaw.
I'd also say this is a fun film. the colors in it are great. I feel like it has like I don't know how else to put it. Like the color palette and the visuals have something that like other Marvel films just don't get to have. It's very vibrant, and the soundtrack is super fun. Um, I overall, and I struggle with this with all of or not all, but most until recent Guardians films. I feel like it lacks substance. It leans way too hard into that, like funny pop, in your face glitter vibe. Like I don't know, it's too much of a fun film to like have a lot of substance for me, which is a downgrade for it for me. Like I feel like we don't get a I didn't get a whole lot from it. Like I watched a movie, and it's kind of like, okay, I don't know what I got from this. Like I not a whole lot came out of it. Not a whole lot was added to the greater MCU saga, in my opinion. Like, yeah, we got to see another Infinity Stone, but so what? For what? We got an angry dude who wanted to kill people. For what? Like, it wasn't. But then at the same time, we're supposed to be laughing and having fun. I don't know. It was really weird. For me, it was like I don't know. There's something about the vibes. I need you to pick one. Am I feeling fun and happy? Like, am I watching? Oh, what was that vampire movie we watched, or no? It was
Renfield.
so funny. Renfield. Like, am I watching Renfield or am I watching an MCU movie? Like, I need you to pick one. Yeah.
Devin, I got you, dog. I got you. Don't even sweat it, baby. Don't even sweat it. Um, y'all are fucking crazy. Are you kidding me? like what, dude? When this movie came out, it was the first real comedy MCU movie that had us all laughing our fucking balls off on the floor. I remember every fucking person in the goddamn world being like, this movie is funny as shit. Because it took everything that we loved in the first Iron Man movie. Not that there was a whole lot to like love there, right? It took the good things out of the Iron Man franchise and gave us a whole movie of it. Like, we really didn't have that up until Guardians of the Galaxy. They were allowing us to explore the cosmos, explore something a little bit more out there than just Thor and fucking Valhalla. And it gave it to us in a fun little fucked up Christmas box without a bow on the top. And you open it, and it's just sparkling shit. It was our first time in the MCU that they allowed themselves to not take themselves too seriously. And I thought that was fucking gold. Xander.
But are we ranking this in 2014 or are we ranking this in 2023?
Well,
we're ranking this as the phase.
Well, because I see the argument that you're making. I do, and I understand where you guys are coming from. I like on the grand spectrum of things, Guardians of the Galaxy 1 was the one I had the least problems with. You know what I mean? The least things that I could say like, I don't know about that. You know what I mean? Even Guardians 3, which I loved. I love Guardians 3. I still had a lot of problems with it. But Guardians 1 seemed to be this first exploration into the comedic side of Marvel. Back when it was still actually funny and not feeling quite as forced. They allowed them to seemingly improv a lot of shit that went into Guardians 1. And it worked beautifully. I'm sure all of us can agree with that. Like, the comedy was not the problem in this movie. It was just everything around the comedy because they were so focused on the comedy that made everything else kind of fall apart, right? You kind of almost wanted to take it seriously, even though it wasn't taking itself seriously. I get where you guys are coming from. I don't think that this movie... I think that this movie deserves just a smidge more credit than I think we ever gave it over the past decade, basically. It's not perfect by any means. I don't think it is gonna go above Captain America, but I also don't think it's an Iron Man 3. You know what I mean?
No, by no means is it an Iron Man 3. I would no.
With that said, let's fucking talk about it, guys. So
all right, let's see
our rankings. let's do this. Okay, let's do this. Let's just start right in the middle. Is Guardians of the Galaxy better or worse than Thor: Dark World?
Better.
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 Okay. Is Guardians of the Galaxy 1 better or worse than Iron Man?
Better.
Better.
Jenna, so you fucking
That's
hate Iron
actually
Man.
hard for me. I hate Iron Man.
You
but
fucking
I
hate
do-
Iron Man.
I
Just
think that as a movie, TBH, Iron Man 1 was better than Guardians of the Galaxy. I'm sorry. And I know you fucking love Iron Man, dude. Don't lie to me.
I do, but this movie is better.
I hate Iron Man, but like that movie was really well made. Like it had, I don't know, it was a well approached movie. It was a terrible character, terrible story, but like it was well made.
he built that
I
suit
knew
in a
what
Had
it
a
was
cave.
Yeah, with a box of scraps.
Box of scraps.
Let me just insert in the casual conversation. Okay, well, unfortunately, Jenna saw you have
That's
been
fine.
overvoted.
I don't care.
So now, the bigger question: is Guardians of the Galaxy 1 better or worse than Captain America?
Worse. You can't come after my man like that.
I'm gonna be honest.
I
like this
have
movie
more
more than
issues
Captain
with Captain
America.
America than I do
Yeah.
with Guardians.
Yeah,
of the
I think it's
Galaxy.
better.
Wow.
I think it's better.
Oh, wow, dude.
Captain America? The man with the plan.
Dude,
Oh,
Lollipop
man.
Steve Rogers? No, I'm
Strangled
sorry.
man with a
I'm
plan.
sorry. Okay, that's still it still doesn't work for me.
Tortured for this film, and you want to give it to Star-Lord? Okay.
No, I don't give it to Star Lord. I want to give it to Rocket. Okay.
Okay,
Holy
Rocket does clap. I'll
shit.
give that
Rocket
to
and
you.
Groot.
I do love
Groot is
Rocket.
great when he has this freak out moment when they're on the ship.
Devin,
Everybody's like, "Oh, fuck."
why is Guardians of the Galaxy better than Captain America?
Because I like it more. It just is. No, I just I
so.
Guardians of the Galaxy just gives a better serotonin boost to my mind when I watch that movie, and I feel like I've watched it more. And
You said the same thing 3 times, guys.
yeah. Look, it's
Because it's better. Because I like it.
better.
Because it gives me serotonin release.
I like the characters more.
Because
I
I'm
just
happy
do.
when I
just
watch
do.
it.
I like the
Drop the
banter
ball
in the
on this.
movie. The movie has John C. Riley. Like, come on.
Xander, give me a
double.
pitch here. Give me a pitch here. Why?
Okay, hold on.
How is Guardians of the Galaxy better than Captain America?
I think what Guardians does better than Captain America is tell a more elaborate story reaching into deeper horizons.
I'm calling Garrett.
Whereas-
I'm calling Garrett right now. I'm calling Garrett right now.
I didn't have enough prep time, okay? Fuck.
Look, you
All
asked
right.
me what I think is better, and I told you.
Is it
I do
my
all
turn?
my best work through texting.
Is that my
So I
turn?
can take time to think about what I'm about to say.
What's up, dog?
Garrett Bartholomew Eaton, I have a very important question for you. Also, you're on the Good Kraken podcast. How are you?
I am.
I know, I love you. So the important question we're at a standstill. Which one is better, Guardians of the Galaxy or Captain America?
Just the first ones of each.
The first ones of each.
Ooh.
It's Guardians.
Mm, okay. Goddamn, that's really hard, actually. So
Right.
My gut really wants to say Captain America, but I think the longer I think about it, the more cohesive of a film that Guardians of the Galaxy seems to be, and it just set up so well.
You were
other
almost
things
Mother's
in the
favorite.
MCU without feeling shoehorned in some weird sort of way. I'm going to go with Guardians of the Galaxy.
Perfect, my friend.
You were
Thank you.
so
I love you.
close.
Yes.
Eric.
Can I get Mike?
Okay, I know that I'm
See,
outnumbered,
anyway.
but I did not get a chance to defend my argument.
You defended your argument a long time ago. You know what I'm saying? It was Steve
No.
Rogers. You know what I mean? Steve Rogers. Oh,
Well,
hydrate.
that's true. No, I don't have a drink.
So here's the deal.
all out.
Firstly, Xander Devin, that's how you pitch something. Okay, first off.
Yeah, I will
Listen,
give
listen,
that
listen,
he had
listen,
an
listen.
actual argument.
No,
He's the statement.
He
I was
said
not
what I wanted to
prepared.
say. He said
Make
what I
me
wanted.
happy.
He said what I wanted to say.
Jesus. Jenna, yes.
Thank you. Captain America actually builds up a very strong hero. Guardians of the Galaxy 1, you have this band of misfits that by the end of it are still a band of misfits. They barely come together as a team, like literally by the scraps of their teeth. And they're like, oh, we're going to be friends. It's like you all have mommy and daddy issues. You don't know what it is to be friends yet. You don't know what
God,
it is to form
she's
healthy
literally
attachment.
critiquing our friendships since high school.
You just described being in
She's
a
that girl at
band.
the other lunch table that's
You just
pointing at us, making fun of us right now.
Okay.
You just described being in
Oh
a
my
band,
God.
Genesee.
Jenna and I have unfortunately been outvoted by the rest of the GK crew for now until DJ comes on here. So we have to move on. That puts Guardians of the Galaxy at number 3 above Captain America. God fucking damn it.
I do too, but Guardians is better.
Damn it. God fucking damn
It's
it.
not, but whatever.
To be fair, you also didn't like She-Hulk. So our next movie here, our next movie, Avengers: Age of Ultron,
Right.
released May 1st, 2015, directed by Joss Whedon. A budget of $170 million and a box office of $1.403 billion and a runtime of 2 hours and 21 minutes. Devin, your top level thoughts of Avengers: Age of Ultron.
You know, this movie had a fun opening. It is the first time you kind of see like the Avengers like being friends, you know? And them having like that camaraderie, you know, that you know, they're all on the same team and they're acting like teammates and stuff like that. Also, we get the introduction of Wanda Maximoff and Quicksilver. I know his first name's Peter, right? Peter.
Yes.
Pietro.
Yeah.
Pietro, which is
Pietro. Thank
Peter
you.
in- Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Pietro.
But I thought this movie had some great action sequences. I thought the end of the movie had some good stakes as well. I really like Jeremy Renner as Hawkeye in this movie, actually. He doesn't get as much screen time as I'd like him to have, but I do like him in this movie. Now, as far as some of the writing goes in this movie, though, kind of, you know, we could have had a way crazier story with Ultron. Like, we really should have, too. Ultron is a big bad of comics, and I feel like Ultron did deserve his own, like, lead up instead of just one film, in my opinion. That's like a big takeaway as a comic book fan that I have. Other than that, yeah, I'm interested to see where we rate this.
Xander.
So, this film, I think, did well in my eyes, largely in part to the performances from the actors themselves. The writing itself, the overall story felt very lackluster. When I heard Age of Ultron, I was stoked. And then upon seeing this, I was kind of let down because even though James Spader did an excellent job voicing Ultron, that was honestly, after seeing that and hearing him, how he portrayed it, I couldn't imagine anyone else doing Ultron. Well, up until What If, but But it's just like it just dies so suddenly. Like this is something that in the comic books, Ultron is a recurring villain all the fucking time because he's a fucking artificial intelligence, and it's just like, oh, that's it. He's offline.
I will say, it's taking a long time to get there, but I heard that he may be coming back very soon.
Hey, future
Okay.
spoilers, asshole. It's even a future spoiler for us in real life.
I know. I
No,
said
but
it's a
just
rumor.
Like, it's just like, and also, honestly, I'm gonna say it right now too. Joss Whedon is a fucking asshat, and I don't fucking like him.
Good argument. Good argument.
I do like what Chocolate Thunder just said is when Captain America barely moved Thor's hammer.
That part was hype.
You know?
That part was
Yeah,
hype.
that part was hype
That
as
was a
hell.
good moment. That was a good
That's the
moment.
whole party scene I was
It
talking
super
about
was.
earlier.
Genesis.
Also,
Oh,
I just want
Be
to add
quick,
in one
be
thing
quick.
I forgot to mention real quick. The fight scene between Iron Man and Hulk. I liked it. It's about as close as we were going to get to a Wolverine Hulk fight.
Genesis.
I love this movie. I felt like this really got the comedy for me, like where it didn't feel forced, it didn't feel out of place. It felt really cohesive. I love the way they interact as a team. I did when it started out. I was kind of like, "How did you all get here?" Like they were all. I felt really weird to me that they were just all together. It was like to hunt down one Infinity Star. I don't know. It felt weird. Like we went from them being all over the galaxy to them just being here now. But other than that, once I looked past that, it was really fun, really good time. I love the language joke. That still hits so hard for like all of just the silly little jokes that they like build up with each other is amazing. I love Hawkeye. I love that we get to see again like all of these first looks that we have at them of like the hammer move, him with his family, like all of these little things that we get to see build over time. I think is really awesome. And I love there was something really specific that totally just left my brain. Oh my god. Okay. I there were so many jokes watching this movie this time that I don't think I understood before. They made a straight up sex joke between Banner and Black Widow that I didn't get before. Did anyone else miss that? Because I was watching it.
Oh, I
and
didn't
was
miss
like,
it. I didn't miss it. I'll tell you that.
I totally missed it.
Yeah, I didn't miss it.
Hiding the zucchini. I was like, what?
Yeah.
How did I miss this for like a literal
Yeah.
decade?
Yeah.
So good.
I was on the search for that bumper sticker too.
Oh yeah. That was so good. But like I will say like I'm a romance slut and Marvel romances like always let me down. But I really do love Banner and
Natasha?
what's her face? Natasha. I love them. They make a lot of sense to me. They both hate themselves. It tracks. Like they're a really good pairing. They both think
how
they
do you
don't
think us
deserve
three
love.
found each
She
other?
started and ended there. I love it. It's perfect. They both hate each other. And it's great.
No, they love each other. It's really good. That's all I have to say.
Genesaw's
Oh my God,
Pornhub search bars. Like, emo boy wants to fuck more than he wants to die.
Literally, when she says,
Oh
"I adore
my
you,"
god, you actually
pushes
just
her.
fucking said that.
Okay.
Live on
We're
Twitch,
moving
baby.
past
Let's
that, though. We're moving past that though because I don't need to be seen like that. When she says "I adore you" and pushes him off of a fucking cliff, I was like, soulmates. Like I
Oh boy. Okay,
can't
so
get enough.
so Avengers again. I fucking hate this movie. I have oh my god, I fucking hate this movie. It's like
Devin's face, right?
it's just god damn it, dude. Like way to literally just do the same fucking thing again.
Dude,
We
right?
fucking do the same thing again. Jesus Christ, man. The only leverage this movie gets for me in comparison to Avengers 1 is that Ultron is this much more intimidating than Loki. Why? Because Ultron doesn't actually do anything himself. He just talks and makes robots and then fucking flies and says, go get him. And then they all fucking fight and then he dies. And then they have to save fucking Romania, I guess. It's like, that's what the entire goddamn movie is, with Hulk and Natasha boning in between.
Sokovia.
Pretty much Romania, you know what I mean? Like, it's like that's not racist because Scovia doesn't exist. So it like, God damn it, man. God damn it, man. Like this fucking movie has so many little tiny good things in it that it makes it almost worse as a whole.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It just makes it worse for me. Where I'm like, come on, guys, you were almost something.
I needed to talk about a couple of things with this movie too that just fucking.
Be quick. Be quick. Go ahead.
Why the fuck did you kill off Quicksilver?
He shouldn't have even been in the fucking movie.
Yeah.
He shouldn't even have been in the fucking movie.
Do not give me the perfect Quicksilver. I loved him. I fucking loved him, and you stripped him away from me.
In a world where we're like fucking what 10 movies deep at this fucking point, why are they introducing a character and then killing them in the same movie? Why are they doing that? Why are they doing it? They didn't need to do that. There was no point in Quicksilver being in this. They literally could have had the exact same story, the exact same impact with just Wanda. And literally the only reason why Quicksilver's in this is so that she could see him die and say, oh, I don't want to be with Ultron anymore. That's it, dude. There's so many other ways they could have led her to say that, man.
Even then, she already made that decision. Like, him dying didn't add anything other than her being out of options and being like, oh, I guess I'll be an Avenger now for 100%. But she already said, I don't know.
Man. There's so many fucking dope ass parts of this movie, mostly in the first half. Like leading up to Ultron, like becoming Ultron, right? Like the first half of this movie is fucking tight as shit.
The introduction of Ultron was good
horrifying.
Yeah,
right?
that was great.
Yeah, and then the rest of the movie just fucking crumbles into pieces before you as they just redo Avengers 1. Literally. What's up, Xander?
Another major character death in the film that, I mean, it probably not major to moviegoers, but to Marvel fans, like comic book fans. Baron Wolfgang von Strucker. Fucking von Strucker is like a huge character in the Marvel comics, especially dealing with Hydra. Yeah. And they didn't even kill him on screen.
Yeah.
He was an off-screen death. He was just a mention from Maria Hill. Yeah. Why?
Yeah, dude. I know.
And then also subsequently in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., they had his son for some fucking reason.
Not to mention, too, that the big threat in this, the stakes in this, was just a big rock falling. You had to keep the rock
meteors
falling.
are scary, dude. You're going to tell me if you if you saw big rocks like falling from the sky, you'd just be like, all right.
Listen, in today's world, in the year of our Lord 2023, if there's a big rock in the sky that's only going to destroy one city, and I'm in New York, I'm going, that sucks.
Listen,
no, the science
the
behind.
U.S. Congress had a hearing on aliens. Nothing surprises us anymore.
The rock wasn't that high, though. It wasn't high enough to be a
science
meteor.
behind it was it was gonna destroy like a whole country, not a city.
Well, I wasn't
And
in the
originally,
country.
if you got it up to a certain point, the velocity
care
would have
about whole
destroyed the
country.
planet.
You know what I mean? Like, it's just
Americans barely
science
care
was there.
about the whole planet. Like, we're already fucking ourselves over. And
It
we're
did
kinda
have
like,
thrusters built into the.
It did have thrusters.
rock.
I will give you that. It did have thrusters.
Yeah, he was gonna like rocket it into the earth and then destroy
like a
humans.
Giant power glove punch, right? Yeah.
Yeah, just ramming it right through.
He's gonna
I mean,
fist
to
Earth.
be fair,
Just
that would be
right
faster than
there.
what we're doing to ourselves already. So
just right in there, dude.
Yeah,
I hate you.
Genesee, I just want to have like
Right.
10 or 15 more good years.
Just right
Like,
in there.
I need
dude.
something to be
I
stoked
don't
about.
think
Go out
it-
on a
yeah.
high note.
Good.
Just right. He's gonna activate the thrusters and just go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah.
But the problem is that we're doing that without lube. Okay.
Well, yeah. With that said, thank you, Jenna.
They just spit on it.
Let's go.
Let's
Let's
go
move
right into the ranking.
into our rankings here because we're almost done. We gotta get through this, guys. Let's do it again. Let's start just right in the middle. Okay, let's just start right in the middle here. Is Avengers: Age of Ultron better or worse than Thor: Dark World?
Better.
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 Better. Yeah, for sure. Is Avengers: Age of Ultron better or worse than Iron Man?
Better. Oh my God.
I'm thinking about this. This is
I don't know.
to me, I feel like whatever decision is made right here is where it sits.
See what I'm struggling with.
We love you, Esco. Good night. Good night. Okay. I'm so offended. Okay, so Devin, what do you feel? Is it better or worse than Iron Man?
I'm gonna go then worse because Iron Man I think had more cohesive writing and a more original story.
Xander.
Yeah, I was gonna say Jon Favreau does a much better job of constructing the story than Joss Whedon does. Arguably, Age of Ultron has a lot cooler things happening, but I have to say Iron Man's a better film.
I absolutely hate it here. Okay, I have a question.
Okay.
I have a question.
All right, I got you. What's up?
So if we're saying that Age of Ultron is worse than Iron Man, we're saying that Avengers 1 is better than Age of Ultron?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it absolutely
Because that was the
is.
original script.
Absolutely.
They
You
just
know?
copied the original script and then did it again.
Are you saying it's not? Are you saying this
I
movie?
do think
Age
that
of
Age
Ultron's
Ultron
better than
is
the
better
Avengers?
yes, I do.
Girl, oh my God!
I do.
You think the
They're a
Age of
better
Ultron
team.
was
They're a
was
better
better
team.
than that's the secret
They're-
cap? I'm always angry, and that didn't hit you the same way. You're telling me that was this better than that?
Yes.
Oh my God! Oh my God, Genesaw! I am so disappointed in you.
That's okay. She's already outvoted.
I'm also very happy because this is the first time Genesaw has ever like gotten this way with us. So like She-Hulk's the only thing she's ever been close to like this.
I do. I will say I feel more passionately about She-Hulk, and I don't know what the fuck is wrong with all of you that you think that's a good show. Anyway,
Okay,
huh?
here's where we can go with this. Okay,
I never said it was a good show, though.
I hate you
personally.
all.
here's where we can go with this. Okay, I am okay with giving Genesee a little bit of leniency here. I refuse to ever say that Age of Ultron is better than Captain America.
I'll take that argument. But
Yeah.
I mean, you guys
No, I
already
agree. I
talked
can agree with
about the situation with Guardians of the Galaxy, so here we
Like
are.
there's just no fucking way you could convince me that Age of Ultron's better than Captain America. There's no fucking way.
Yeah,
I
like-
can see that.
So
I'd say that's true.
I'll let Iron Man slide because as an origin story, it's like it's cool, it's a little bit sloppy, and Obadiah Stane's is a very like not inspired character. But like there's no fucking way it's better than Captain America. So
And dude, the first flight takeoff though.
okay, yeah.
That shit still hits.
I know.
I sometimes go to YouTube just to watch that one scene.
Listen, we're trying to meet in the middle here. All right, we're trying to meet in the middle here. All right. Meet in the middle. Okay, we are going to now go into our last movie for the night. And I have to go put my child to bed. Excuse me. Ant-Man released on June 29th, 2015. directed by Peyton Reed, with a budget of $130 million and a box office of $519.3 million, and a run time of 2 hours and 21 minutes as well. Devin, my boy, what were your top level thoughts of Ant-Man?
I actually like this movie. This is a good introduction. This is a good introduction story for a hero character. I liked Paul Rudd's performance. Actually, I think he fits the character very well. I love Anthony.
Anthony's good.
Rest
Good
in
part.
power.
Good part, yeah.
I love Anthony. Also, his daughter does such a good job in this movie, honestly. And what's his face that plays the cop stepdad?
Oh,
that
yeah,
actor.
Sylvester Stallone.
He might as well be, right?
I'm kidding.
I actually like that guy, but I think it's funny that he's always a cop. He's
Yeah.
never
Oh, yeah.
not.
Pretty much.
He's always a cop. Every
Even
single
Paul Blart.
Yep. Every TV show, every movie he does, he's always a cop.
Well, no, he was on a short run HBO show where I think he was like a record producer in the 80s or
Are we
something.
really fucking doing this right now? Are we
70s.
really fucking doing this right now?
Shut up.
I'm sorry.
The one role.
Blame my ADHD, okay? Fuck.
Like girls in chat said, like in Paul Blart. Like nobody fucking cares about Paul Blart. Why are we talking about Devin, continue. Jesus Christ.
You're stuck on Paul Blart.
Do a fucking review for the entirety of the MCU and you're talking about Paul Blart, Mall Cop. Jesus Christ.
I enjoyed
Oh my
that
God.
movie.
You know what? My daughter can stay asleep. I'll fight for this, okay? Devin, continue.
Anyways, I thought the writing was good. I thought the motivation was there. Michael Douglas, he does a good job too. Senile, pissed off old man. Great, love it. But I actually like this movie. I had fun with it. It was also a Marvel movie that sat within the comedy realm and did it very well. It wasn't very forced at all. And I like his interaction with Falcon as well.
Xander.
Overall, I thoroughly enjoyed this film. I think they did a great job of making people care about a character they didn't expect to care about. There's a lot of heart in this. I really, as a father, I do like the family aspect of it all. I love his relationship with his daughter. I love how snippy she can be. She actually reminds me a lot of my own daughter. And it's just an overall fun and good feeling film. Even though that last bit with the whole Yellow Jacket getting sucked into the quantum realm, that was unfortunate. Some bodily disfigurement.
Yeah, we all know how that ended up.
Yeah. But no,
Baby
as a
butt.
whole, I really enjoyed this film.
Little MODOK baby butt.
Hey, future spoilers. Future spoilers. Future spoilers.
Fuck face.
Fuck face.
The second time.
Yo, fuck face. Genesaw, what were your top of thoughts of Paul Blart, Mall Cop?
I'm gonna say it. Ant-Man is growing on me.
Oh.
Oh,
Yeah.
pun intended. Pun intended.
Okay. All right. I like that.
Heyo.
I disliked
She
this
said-
movie less.
And then it grew.
I did. You know what? Those are expensive now. We can't afford that shit.
Fair.
So anyway, we were talking about a movie, and I think that it was. I liked it. I liked it a lot more than I ever have before. It was definitely very fun. I love Luis. I love him so much. He's one of those characters
the
that I
one.
completely forgot about. Didn't take up any space in my brain. The second that man pulls up to the jail, I remembered every line he has ever said. I have not watched that movie since it came out, and I remembered him explaining how he hears everything. I was like, oh, I love this dude. Oh my God, I laughed so hard when he's like, oh, and then she was like, I can't. Everything that comes out of his mouth is gold. And so yeah, I love like his little ragtag band of criminals. I love that like this phase of the MCU was just like, no, fuck the government, fuck
Okay,
cops.
so she'll take criminals over misfits. Got it.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
will.
yeah,
They're
confirmed.
criminals too. Okay, to be fair, the Guardians of the Galaxy are criminals, which I
Got
dig.
Ti.
But it wasn't as much as like I don't know. I feel like it wasn't on purpose. Like that, like this. It was we were going full like vigilante shit. You know, we were going like full fuck the man, fuck the police. The stepdad cop
Fuck 12.
sucks.
Anyways, what?
Yeah, we were really leaning into it, and I enjoyed that. I love a good montage scene. We know I love a good training saga.
Hell
Like
fuck
that's
yeah. Hell
just
fuck yeah.
it's
Let's
a
go.
fun time. Him getting okay. I love Hope. I love Hope. I love a kick-ass businesswoman who's gonna put a man on his ass. Oh, I was so about it. Like, and I will say, Scott Lang, like seeing him this time, like he does try to earn his love interest, which a lot of Marvel men don't do. And he has a master's degree. Like he actually he's just doing his best. He's the single dad who works too hard. Like I'm here for him.
Yeah, so that was a good rant. That was a very good rant about Ant-Man, considering how long you were like, I don't know if I really like Ant-Man that much. Fucking power to you, baby girl. Power to you. Yeah, this movie's good. This movie's good. It's a good movie. It's funny as shit. I mean, like, what else can you fucking ask for when?
Like, humor is great.
Yeah, when
Honestly,
they announced that Paul Rudd was gonna be Ant-Man, I was like, oh, this movie's gonna be fucking funny as shit, man. This movie's gonna be fucking good, dude. Like, this is gonna be a real fun time.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything bad you can say about Paul Rudd. Like,
Yeah, Paul
I've
Blart.
been
No,
Yeah,
he's
the
just
mall
a
cop.
fun
Yeah,
dude.
yeah, dude. The Segway and going through the mall. Yeah, it's crazy, man. Yeah, I mean, it's a fucking good movie. I don't really know what else to say. Like, there's not really much bad in this movie. Like, it's original. The dialogue's fucking funny. The side characters feel like actual characters. The villain isn't identical to Ant-Man. He's just kind of different in ways that kept me interested the entire time. The relationship between Paul Rudd and his daughter is fucking perfect. I guess really the only complaint I have is that Hope doesn't really do much in this. And I kind of wish she would have, so that they could build into the Wasp a little bit better. Which again, no future spoilers, so I'm not gonna go into that. But yeah, this movie is fucking good, man. Like I have very little qualms with this movie back then and even to date. Like I still think this movie holds up fucking wonderfully. So, guys, I think we can do it. Our last entry.
let's do it.
For now into our MCU official rankings here. So again, let's just start right in this bad boy. Is Iron Man better or worse than Paul Blart Mall Cop?
Worse.
Guys,
Wait. So we're asking, is Iron Man
better or worse than Ant-Man?
Than Ant-Man. I'd say it's worse than Ant-Man.
Worse.
Ant-Man's better.
Okay.
Ant-Man's better.
like the
Better
game
or
is
worse than Avengers Age of Ultron?
Better.
Ant-Man is better.
I'm sorry, Genesaw. Ant-Man's better. Like, I mean, like, come on. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on. You know what I mean?
It's hard for me. There were more things that I liked in Avengers Age of Ultron than I did in Ant-Man, but with Avengers Age of Ultron had so much going on in it that I can see the argument for Ant-Man being better simply because it had less that it needed to figure out. So it was easier to wrap your mind around. You know, like it was more cohesive because it didn't have as much to do. So I could see that argument, but I do feel like there was a lot more in Avengers that it had going for it positively than Ant-Man did for me.
We're into our first little conundrum here. Xander, Devin, better or worse? Okay. All right.
Ant-Man's better than Age of Ultron in my opinion.
Xander.
Better.
Okay. Better or worse than Captain America?
Worse.
Oh. Oh. Xander.
This is tough for me because, again, there are more things going on in Captain America that I personally have issues with than Ant-Man.
Sure. But here's where I'm having trouble here is I personally think that Ant-Man is better than Guardians of the Galaxy. Personally. That's just my
Yeah.
personal taste there. However, I don't
Yeah.
think it's better than Captain America. And that's the
I
interesting part
agree.
about this. That's the interesting part about this.
I agree with you.
And if
It's
you remember,
Guardians of the Galaxy wasn't better than Captain America, but
so I mean, like we have the availability to do this. Do we want to slide Guardians down and put Ant-Man up? Do we want to slide Guardians down, put Captain America up, and then put Ant-Man?
You are not weaseling this in. Me, Xander, and Garrick voted Guardians better than Captain America. Fuck off.
Okay, well, I mean,
I
like,
do
do we?
think though. I think that Ernell has a good argument in that, like, when we're putting, it's different when we're putting certain movies up against all of them in the row. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
it doesn't make sense to put Ant-Man below Guardians of the Galaxies.
I mean, like, I would.
I mean, I was gonna vote it for 5 personally.
Well, so here's my other conundrum too, right? Is like, I mean, we all are pretty much in agreement that there's not really a whole lot in Ant-Man for us to like feel poorly about. There are some things in Captain America to feel poorly about. There are. I mean, for all in sake of the argument, like there is some stuff in Captain America that's not necessarily perfect. Now, does that inherently mean it's a better movie than Captain America, or no?
That's what I'm thinking too. I'm thinking as a film, does it stand? And I think it does. Like I think Ant-Man as a full film, like I think it's more cohesive. I think there are parts in Captain America that seem a little bit shoehorned in. There are some things that seem a little bit jumbled, whereas Ant-Man feels very fluid.
I like Captain America more than Ant-Man personally.
Yeah.
So
See,
I mean,
that's another factor. Like, what do we like more too? Because this is our personal ranking.
Yeah,
So
I just think Captain America, the first Avenger, kind of like harnesses that Marvel feel to it
It is
more
a
so
true
than
superhero movie.
Ant-Man does. Ant-Man stands alone by itself, but
yeah.
Also,
Captain
as like
America's
origin stories.
yeah,
I think
yeah, and they're both
too.
origin stories too.
Yeah.
I feel like
which one's the better origin
Captain
story then?
I
Captain
think
America.
Captain America
Yeah.
is the better origin
Okay.
story.
Yeah.
Xander,
Yeah.
do you agree with
So,
that?
I personally still like Ant-Man better, but that's just me.
Really?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
see that's the problem is like
Because
trying
I
to
like the
balance
whole
between
redemption arc kind of
Yeah.
idea. Like, because like he
That's
was just like a common criminal, and then he turns his life around, and I really enjoy that.
Well, okay. It
get
sounds like
that.
we're in a pretty even keel here between Captain America and Ant-Man. It's kind of what it's starting to sound like. Can we say all in agreement that Ant-Man's better than Age of Ultron?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
No
We
confusion.
cannot say with all agreement that it's better than Captain America. So it stops there. Ant-Man goes to the number 5 spot. And then later, if we want to shift, as we add more movies, we shall do so.
Yeah,
So-
next phase is going to be fun.
Next week is going to be real interesting to add on to this list, guys. I'm
It's
I'm
literally
excited.
doubling the list.
Yeah, I
We're
know,
gonna
I know,
have to
dude.
fight.
It's gonna be a long. We might have to do like a 2-parter or something like that. For the
I
next
would
one.
I would
Yeah.
err on that.
Yeah, like,
Yeah,
you'd be
like-
oh, geez.
Do one episode and then the next week do the second part.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we might have to fuck around and find out. Anyways, so our rankings as they stand currently for our audio listeners here. Number 12, The Incredible Hulk. Number 11, Iron Man 3. Number 10, Thor. Number 9, Iron Man 2. Number 8, Thor Dark World. Number 7, Iron Man. Number 6, Avengers Age of Ultron. And actually, can't believe that I misspelled this. Number 5, Ant-Man. Number 4, Captain America, the First Avenger. Number 3, Guardians of the Galaxy. Number 2, The Avengers. Number 1, Captain America, the Winter Soldier. I feel good about that.
I do too.
I'm okay with this list where it's standing right now, because I'm looking at the second half of this list and I'm like, there's maybe one shift that I would make. Maybe one shift. Just maybe just switch Age of Ultron Iron Man. But that's not a hill. That's not a hill I'm willing to die on right now. You know, like, I'm okay with it where this is at now. Me and Genesee will battle this out another night. Guys, thank you for joining all of us tonight. This was another fun episode. It's always fun doing these. I love doing these with you guys because we actually give a fuck about Marvel. You know what I mean? Like, deeply give a fuck about these movies.
Oh yeah, I mean,
The only time I get into fights with you guys.
Yeah, I know, right? Jesus Christ, for real, for real.
She-Hulk.
Oh yeah, She-Hulk, good show. So our schedule
Fuck up.
for this week. Thursday, we have another live recording of the Shipwreck Show. You guys, if you are on our Discord and
That
you
was a
are a
shipwreck.
Twitch subscriber, Jesus Christ, you guys can write into the show in our Shipwreck Submissions channel in Discord and ask us anything you want, and we may or may not give you the best, worst answer you have ever heard in your entire life.
remember, it's your question, it's our answer.
Goddamn, baby, let's go. We're getting that on a shirt. We're gonna put that
That's
on
a
a
good
fucking
one.
shirt,
Hey,
baby.
$20 is $20.
Hey, let's go. You know what I'm saying? It's your body, but our shirt.
That is Ernell.
And then on Friday, we have another Ocean Shrine story time where yours truly is diving in to Starfield. I pre-ordered the goddamn game. Let's fucking do this. Got that preem. Good thing I put the M in that because pre sounds nasty. That sounds nasty.
Before into that.
And then on Saturday, we have another Good Kraken podcast where we're going to be doing a review of The Equalizer 3. God damn, I'm excited for that movie. Love me some Denzel Washington. You know what I'm saying? Love that shit. Guys, please let us know whether you agree with our ranking list or not. Let us know if we're out of our fucking minds, and let us know why Genesee is fucking a fool for not liking She-Hulk. Me and Genesee are at war now. I hope you guys know that. We're at fucking war. Let's go.
I mean, you still haven't watched Pretty Little Liars Original Sin, so
I-
we're never going to be able to
I-
be friends again.
Oh,
Don't do that to me. Don't do that to me. You know what I mean? Don't do that to me. Guys, please let us know on Discord. Let us know on Twitter. Let us know on Instagram. We want to hear from you guys. In the meantime, though, this has been the Good Kraken Podcast, your choice for all the nerdy video game and pop media news, reviews, and discussions that you wanted to hear live every Tuesday at 7 p.m. and Saturdays at 12 p.m. right here at twitch.tv/Good Kraken Show. If you enjoy the show, you can head on over to our Discord channel where you can submit questions and topics to the show, get exclusive content, and have early access to episodes before they go live on podcasts and video services across the digital sea. Thank you, Xander. You can also support us by going to our YouTube channel, clicking that beautiful bell and big red button, or by subscribing to our podcast channel by searching Good Kraken with an exclamation mark and leaving a review there. We have to go, everybody. But until next time, my friends, She-Hulk was a good show.
I hate you.
It's Ahsoka Day, baby.